Hello everyone, my name is Ionescu Andrei. I'm a mobile developer at DeepStash, and I'm currently now developing 5 mobile apps for around I don't know 1 million people, 2 million people. They have a lot of downloads. If you want to know more about me, you can check my website. But today's webinar is about React Native and Expo and how to build a mobile app. The table of contents for today will be why mobile apps, what is React Native, what we learned today, and also a live demo at the end. Why mobile apps? So we use mobile apps every day. For me, my first contact with the technology was with a mobile phone, not a personal computer or a laptop. And this engaged me in my further years to basically start to develop my own apps and basically to start solving my own community problems or my own problems with the technology that is today. And also with the help of AI today, you can just achieve more scalable apps. And here I have displayed to you 6 mobile apps that are built with the technology that we are going to learn today. DeepStash, Instagram, Discord, Facebook, Pinterest, and Uber Eats. So as you know, these are are big apps, and this technology is very scalable. So we will learn real stuff today and how to build a mobile app that can scale up to millions of users. Okay, so what is React Native and why is Expo with React Native? React Native was developed by Meta or Facebook. I don't know, I think in 2016, 15. React was also developed by Facebook, but React Native came in hand to just make the mobile development easier, and it uses JavaScript, which is used for web development. So web developers are, it's very easy for web developers to just switch to web and then to mobile. And what is the nicest thing about this technology is that you can just write one code base and you can ship it to iOS and Android as well. So you don't need to just create 2 separate apps or 2 separate code bases. You can have one code base and just ship them to both platforms. Here in the left, I have how the engine from JavaScript to native code. And here, as you see, from the React code with the Metro bundler, it will just transfer the code into a JavaScript bundle. And also with the help of the bridge, we'll just transform the code into a native code, which is C++, Objective-C, Java, and so on. And that's how we are going to achieve our native features and basically the native feeling of our app. Okay, but what is Expo? Because I said earlier about Expo. Expo is a framework, is the fastest way to start a React Native project nowadays. Nowadays, basically all mobile apps or modern mobile apps that are built with React Native in the back use Expo because it's very easy to test on your phone. For example, with the Expo Go app, it's also great for beginners and web developers, and it has a lot of libraries. Like for example, the new SDK that came up 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Um, we can now just make widgets very easy, and it was a hard challenge, let's say, to do widgets earlier in the days. So yeah, that's why I use Expo. Okay, but what we are going to learn today, forming concepts, components, and the building blocks, and how we can just create UI blocks with buttons, text, or maybe images. The state, data that changes, we can just track how an input, for example, it's managed and how we can manage that data. Navigation tabs, how we can make a navigation tab, how we can just navigate through our app, and how we can manipulate the screens in our app. Local storage, so we'll use the local storage of our phone for this demo. because it's much simpler and we can just go to these four main concepts with these four things. And in the end, you will know how to build your first mobile app, which has these four base concepts. And what we are going to build today, it's an app that I called Inclusivo because it's based on the theme that you guys are competing now in Hardcore Entrepreneur 6.0, and it will have 3 screens with local storage and a modern UI and a user experience. Yeah, so let's go to the demo of the app. Here's the app. As you can see, it has 3 screens, one for the start. Then we can go to the main app, which has 2 tab screens, home and create. Here in home, we'll see the inclusive places or safe spots from your city. And here in the second tab for the create screen, we'll just have a form you can just fill to just display in the main component all the relaxing or the inclusive spots that you found. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Let's go to the live demo because I am a believer in the learn by doing. So yeah, let's jump into the setup. I strongly recommend you to go to this website, which is the Expo website for documentation. Here you have all the things that you just need to install the app, also to use their libraries, or to just, when stuff gets messy, you can just watch the documentation that is displayed on this website. Here, I will just copy this command here to just initialize our project. So we'll go to the Visual Studio Code that I had told you to install earlier. And here I will create a folder. For example, here I have already created one. You can just do it by yourself. And here in Visual Studio Code, you can go to File, Open Folder, and just open the folder that you have created for your app. Here and now, I will just open a new terminal to help to initialize our project. And here I will just copy paste the command that is here. And I will make the SDK 54 because it's more stable. As I said earlier, Expo SDK 55 was released 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and it's not as stable as it is. So yeah, that's why you should use 54. Let's hit enter. What is the app named? I'll name it Inclusivo. I will hit enter and I will just wait, I don't know, for 15 seconds or 20 seconds for the app to be installed. Also, if you have questions in the meantime, I can respond to you on the WhatsApp group, on the support group that we have. So yeah, feel free to ask me any question. I will answer to all of them. Now let's wait for the installation. Okay, perfect. So the setup was installed. Here, as you can see, we have all the files to just start our project. But as you see, we have a lot of things that we don't know for sure. And also some components, some constants, some hooks. These are not mandatory for our app to run. So here, as you see, we have a scripts folder with a reset project script that we can just run. So we don't need the other files that aren't really necessary. So in my terminal, I will change directly to my app. And now I run the script with this command. Like that. I will hit enter and the terminal says that if I want to move existing files to an app example, no. And as you can see, all the files were deleted here. And now we can just start to understand our project structure. So in the app, we have the layout, we have the index. We'll talk about them later, but what is very important is the app JSON. Here we have all the information of our app, the version, the name, the slug, the icon, the splash screen also that starts when the app launches, for example. And here are the main things if you want to just deploy your app to Play Store or to App Store. This is the main app that you have, the main file, sorry, that you have to edit. Now, let's go further. Here in package.json and package.log.json have our dependencies, our scripts, and here we can just manage and look what's inside our project. As you can see, expo image, expo font. These are libraries that will help us to basically call some components so that we don't have to create them from zero, from scratch. Basically, we can use fonts. Basically, we can use the router to just navigate through our tabs. By default, Expo just provides us all the tools to just make our development much easier. But this doesn't matter. You can just ignore those files that I showed you now, the app JSON and package.log.json and package.json. But what we are going to, our main focus will be in the app folder, okay? But first thing first, let's run our program, okay? Let's run our first app. How we do that? With the command npx expo start, okay? We hit enter, and what is the nice thing about Expo is that it has its own app on App Store or Play Store. You can just download it, and with the help of Expo Go with the app, if you are connected to the same network on your personal computer and also the phone, you can just access the app and update it in the real time on your phone. So here I have my phone, okay? I have my camera, and I will just scan the QR code that is displayed on the screen. And after I scan the QR code, as you see, the app is pretty much downloaded on my app on my phone, sorry. And here I can just track all the changes that happens in my app. So what I strongly suggest you is just use Expo Go for your development and to test the app. But for the sake of this webinar, I will just make a phone here. I'll just put it on the screen so that you can just track all the changes that I'm doing in the code and also on the screen. So I will just create a simulator right now. Okay, perfect. Here I will put the phone. Okay, as you can see, it loaded. And if I press I can just open the app on my device. We just wait a little bit. Okay, perfect. This is our app. We can go to the index, and here, as you can see, we have the text that is displayed right here. So, for example, if I delete this and say hello world, and I hit save, as you can see, it hot reloads here, and basically we can track our changes in real time. So let's start with the layout. Now, what is layout and why it's like this with the underscore? So the layout is basically the main component that is rendered in the back, so your app knows what is your main screens. And what I want to enhance in this is that you know that in the modern phones or modern mobile phones, we have the notch. Also, we have some buttons that are in the for the Android phones that are on the bottom with the back, with the home or recent tabs, or top or the recent tabs. And we want to make sure that we just don't get messy with them because you can, I don't make some text that it's behind a notch, for example, or a button or something with a blocking component. And we don't want to do that. So what we are going to do here is make sure that our app is safe in this manner. Okay, so here we'll use the safe area provider. Okay, and also we need the safe area view. Okay, I have to import this as well. Here I use these two components, so I have to import them, okay, with from React Native Safe Area context. And here I will put a stack, which will be my stack of screens that will just render in my app. And I will put the prop screen options. And I will put the header shown false. And I will talk about later why. Okay. Now the app is black. I can see everything because the safe area view that is wrapped in all my app, yes, it doesn't have a full height and also doesn't have a background color. So here I can just put a style prop, and to make the full height, we'll add the property flex one. As you can see, it just now shrinks all the height in the mobile app. And also let's put a background color of white. And here, as you can see, it fills the white on the safe area view, or the notch parts, and also the bottom part. Yeah, so basically this is our setup to make sure that we don't get messy with the notch and also with the bottom bar. Next, let's go to the index file, which is our start file. So here, as I go back in my presentation, here we have to create our first screen. Okay, so in the index.tsx, we have to create the first screen and the main screen, okay, that the user encounters. Okay, so let's just create it. And here we'll talk about building blocks and how to basically start to develop UI. So a view component, a view component, it's like a block, an invisible block that can be seen only if we add style props to them, only if we add some backgrounds or some padding to the block. But as you see, only the text here is just rendered, because the view, it's just a structural thing to just make our layout more precise. And we'll see this now. Here you can add some style properties, as we did in the layout file, but we leave this for later. Let's put some more text, like, okay, for example, here I will put welcome to our app. Okay, perfect. Now I'll put some text as well with, okay, this text is very nice. And let's put a button, which here for the button we'll use touchable opacity, a component. Okay, but we have to import it here. Okay, as you can see now we don't have errors. And here we can add, on the touchable opacity, we can add the text if get started. Here I'll reload my app. Oh, okay, we have an error because we have provided this, but let's delete this for now and just reload our app. And as you can see, we have our text and also the touchable opacity. This is what does. Basically, it has a nice animation that feels that the button is pressed. So yeah, that's why you can use the touchable opacity, for example, instead of just an empty text. Perfect. Now let's just make some styling. So here I will add a style prop, which will be styles dot contain. But while styles dot container. Here in my app, I can do some stylings. Also, I have to import style sheet. Yeah, perfect. And here I can create some styles, but we have to create them in an object. Basically, these styles are working like in the web, but they have different naming with capital and small letters, but you'll see. Here I can just provide a variable name which is called styles and use the style sheet, and create. And here I can just put my styles. Here I'll have the container. So I want to style the container. As you can see, it has an error because I haven't put any styling to the container. So what I want to from the container is to be full stretch to the high. So remember flex 1. Okay. Okay, perfect. Let's add a background color of white. That doesn't reload. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Oh, okay, I see why. We have a misspelling here. I think here. Perfect. Oh, I have put style sheets, sorry. Okay, so here you have to add styles, not style sheets. Style sheet, sorry. Okay, perfect. Now as you can see, it's that reloaded and now it's with a white background. Okay, perfect. And let's put all the information to the center. So with justify content center, we can just put all the information to center. We can also do align center to just align on the x-axis. So yeah, perfectly. Now we have all the content center. Okay, now let's do some styling on the text as well. So let's do some styles here. Style.title. Here I'll just go and put the title, and I'll do a font size of 24, for example. As you can see, we can just raise it to 40, for example. Perfect. And I can do a font weight of bold and a margin bottom of 20. So yeah, that looks kind of nice. I'll just make 35. Okay, perfect. Okay, now let's go to the other text and I'll call it subtitle. Style. Again, with styles dot subtitle. Okay. Here I will add the subtitle. And I'll increase the font, as you see. And I can put a gray color because it seems more nice, as you can see. And the margin button of 40. Yeah, we can just make it bigger, like 100. Okay. And now I have to just style the button so it looks like a button. So here in the touchable opacity, I'll create again a style. And here I'll just name button, style button. Okay, there's a quick hit with double T. And now the button, I have the styles. So I want to add a greenish background, let's say, to it. So this is the blue color, but we can change that into a green one. As you see, I have changed that to a green, and we have to add some padding because it's very like the border and also the container is like fitting the text, so I don't want to do that. I want to add a padding of 20. As you see, it expanded. Also, I can add the border radius so I can round the corners of 10. I can just increase that to, I know, 50, for example. But what I want here is to add a padding vertical and a padding horizontal because it will look more clean. So let's do a padding vertical of 15 and a padding horizontal of 13. And as you can see, it looks better. Now the main thing and the main problem is the text because it's very unreadable. As you see, it has a dark color, sorry, a black color. And I have to add a style to the get started text as well. So here I'll just name it styles button text. Okay, perfect. Now I go back here and put, okay, sorry. I'll put button text. And here I will just put the color white. As you see, I'll increase also the font size and I'll put a font weight so the button is more visible. So perfect. Here we have our first screen. And yeah, it doesn't look the same as the one that I presented because I want to focus more on the functionalities and how you can build stuff by your own rather than just copy and paste the design. But yeah, this is how we do some styling and also some blocks and to just create your first screen. But now we have to create a functionality to navigate through to the two main tabs that we have talked about. So this is where we will talk about routing. So here in the app, I'll create a start folder, and also I will create a tabs folder. So why I put those folders in brackets is that every block of screens that is in our app has to be with the folder has to be named with the parentheses. Why? Because this is how we can track the blocks of screens in a separate way, and we'll see this later. But what I want to create here for each folder that we create with the brackets, we have to add a layout and also an index file. These are sorry, these are mandatory. Okay. A good trick for you guys is to just go to extensions and search for React Native and install this extension that will help you to basically do some boilerplate code. So for example, here you can just hit this acronym and press enter, and as you can see, it loads our boilerplate code so that we can just start coding from here. I'll do that as well here. And again, on the tabs layout, I'll just make again a layout, a file. Okay, and also an index. Okay, now that we have set our start and tabs folders, maybe you can ask me a question now about if you have encountered something or if it's okay from you guys right now. But one question that I want to put to you is that why I've created here the start component if I have already made a folder with the start. So basically here we'll just render the component from the start, and also here, yes, we learned the component to start, and here in the index, I'll just copy and paste all we did here, okay, and just put it here, okay. So I will just copy all of the code here. I'll just insert it here. Okay, perfect. And I will just rename the component start, for example. Okay, and now I will go back to the main app, the main screen that will load the app. And here I will just delete everything. I will call the acronym as well to just make some boilerplate code. And here I will just put the start component that we have created. And we have to import it as well. Okay, perfect. So as you see, it is the same thing, but we have structured our code better, so it's more readable. Yeah. So again, here I have the start component that we have created, and I just put the start component to just be more clean and to be more understandable. Yeah. Okay. Let's go on to the next. We have to just make also the layout here, and we'll talk about stacks. Here I have to change also. Sorry, perfect. And here we'll talk about stacks. So as I said earlier, the start is like a block with more screens. So for example, if I want to do an onboarding page with lots of screens and I want to name the folder start, let's say, I'll just create a new folder, a new file here, which is the second step, the third step on the onboarding page. So we have to stack all of these screens that we are creating. And this is when stack comes. And also you have to import it as well from export router, as you see. And here we have to just name the screens that are in our stack for the start component, for the start block, let's say. And we are with the start.screen, name index, and the option with header shown false. Why? Because if I put this to true, basically it here will appear the name will appear a tab with your name of the file, which is index, and I don't want that. It looks more clean like this way. So yeah, if I want to add a new screen, for example, in our app, in our onboarding of the start, we just copy and paste this, and I don't know, make it step, for example. And as well, we have to create in the start folder here a step file. Here we just name it, and perfect. Now we have added a new screen to our block of the start. Okay, but for the sake of this tutorial, we don't need that, so I will just delete it, and also this, and we'll just stick to this start app. Okay, perfect. Now let's create in the tabs also. Here is the index, is the home page, so it's the default page, and also we have to create a create page. I will call it with J because here with JavaScript because it's more easy to understand. Also here I'll do that too. The T stands for TypeScript and the J stands for the JavaScript. Okay, perfect. Now, what we are going to do next is to make the routing. So let's do the basically the routing to the main app. So I will go to the start here, and I have to make a functionality to the touchable opacity, which is the button get started. Okay, with the on press feature. Okay. Here, I will create a function that takes me to the next tab. So here is a function that basically routes me to the tab screen. Okay. Okay, so router dot replace, and here we have to include the tabs. Okay, slash tabs. Okay, perfect. I have an error here because we have to import the router. Import. Not use router, sorry. I'll import the router. Perfect. Router from export router. As you can see, I don't have any errors right now. And here in the tabs, as you can see, if I press get started, it will take me to the layout, which is this. Okay, perfect. Now let's go further, and here in layout that we have just created our first page. We can navigate to the second page, and now we have to make our navigation through those two screens that we have talked about. So for the create an index, I'll just have to create their own pages, but I have to create the navigation. So in layout, I will just handle the navigation, and as the same as in the stack, as I said, we'll create the tabs component with, and I have to import it as well from the export router. Okay. As you can see, something changed here, and also as you can see, it appeared a navigation system here, a navigation bar. But let's just make it more appealing as well, and also do we have to put also the index and the create files here. So the navbar knows how to map them. And here I put the name index, okay? And as you can see, if I put header show to true, it will just put the name of the file here above, and I don't want to do that. Okay, perfect. And here as well, I have to add the tab screen and not the search, it's create, and perfect. Here we have to just make the boilerplate code in the create so that it appears here. Okay, perfect. Okay, now what we are going to do is go to the documentation of tabs, for example, and this is how we can use the tabs documentation. As you can see, here we have the tabs, as I put earlier, and the tabs.screen, and here we have the name of our files, okay, settings or index, and here we can add some options. For example, we can add an icon to the tab bar. So let's add an icon, for example, and Expo comes in hand with some icons by default, which are Expo vector icons, and you can just search them here. And also you can just search Expo icons, and the first link will get you here. And now let's just search for a home icon, for example. And yeah, it's okay, that's for me. Here I will import the icon, and here I will copy the component. And if I go back into the documentation, as you can see in the options, we can put the tab bar icon property, and I'll just copy it to be more easy to you. Okay, and here in options, okay, as you can see, we have to add comma and a tab bar icon, but I have an error because I don't have this icon. So I'll just go here, I'll copy the icon, and I'll paste it here. Okay, and here okay, perfect. As you can see, the icon updated. Okay, and let's do this as well for the create. And here I'll search a plus, for example, Okay, here, yeah. Last, okay, here, okay, I want this plus circle, it's more nice. Okay, and here I have to as well. And also we can just copy this and put it, sorry, here, comma, and perfect. Another color property. As you can see, we have created this nice tab bar, and we can also do some styling because as you see, it's a large gap here, and I want to just shrink that. So as for the other components, we have some options, and we'll just see here screen options, as you see here, and we just put screen options. Okay, perfect. And here we can add some more options. Okay, we have to add also an object here. Okay, so first thing first, we want to header shown false. We just want to ensure that any header is visible, and we can add some tint colors, as you see here. We can add a tab bar active tint color, so when it's active, this will be the color, and when it's inactive, it can be this gray color, as you see here. Okay, perfect. And here we can just add the tab bar style. Property, and make the background, for example, of the tab bar white, but it's already white. We can just put the background, the border top color, for example, the background, as you see, but we don't want that. And also, as I said earlier, I want to shrink the height, so I'll put a height of 60. Why 60? This is basically, as I found, the most and the common thing that you can use to just ensure that it's the least amount of shrinkness in the bottom bar. So yeah, that's pretty much it. As you see, we have created our nav bar here, navigation bar, and to add more, for example, to add more icons here and tabs, we just have to put here as well, again, to copy paste, and also create a file here called, and you call it in the way you want, maybe a search, maybe a profile, but for the sake of this tutorial, we'll just stick to the index and create. But as you see here, the name is called index, and here is create, and I want to name it home, for example, and here I can just do that. You can do that, sorry. Okay, and if you go back to documentation, here in options we have the title, for example, of your tab. So here I'll add also a title here and put it. Oh. Okay, I don't know why it's an error here. Oh, okay. I see now. Why? Let's go back. Let's do this to be more visible. Here I can use to format the document, for example. Yeah, perfect. As you see here, and here we can add the title, which is home. Yeah, perfect. Here is home, as you see, and here I can also put the title. Create with the okay, not here, sorry, in the options. Title, create. Okay, perfect. And now we have our tab bar, navigation bar, and as you can see, it works. As you can see here, the text index and create, it changes the navigation. Okay, perfect. Now what's left is to create the index and also the home page and the create page. And I will just start to create the the create page. And let's do the UI first. So let's change the create page. Okay, perfect. And now let's do the same as we did in the other files. So here I want to introduce you to scroll view. Basically, it's a view which does the same thing, but it just adds the scroll feature, so it's scrollable, but you also have to import it. Okay, perfect. Let's go back to the create. As you can see, the text disappeared. And here, let's add some text, like add a place. Here, let's do a subtitle as well, text, and you can add the place to the map, to the home page, let's say, just fill the details and submit. As you can see, the text appeared here. And what we want also are some inputs that we can fill. Yes, it was in our demo. As you see here are some inputs to save the place. So let's go back. And here I will introduce you to another component, which is text input. But first thing first, I want to wrap our all my form, okay, with the inputs in a view, so I can style it later, okay. And I'll wrap it in a view. And here I will just put the text input. Don't forget to import it. And I want three inputs: a name, a description, and a location. Okay, so I'll just copy paste it 3 times. And here I will name the description and here the location. Okay, perfect. As you see, if my cursor is blinking, yeah, it's blinking here. As you can see, the form is here, but it's white, and that's why it isn't visible. So yeah, basically we have to add some styling to it. And let's put the property style here as well. So it's styles input, let's say. Okay, and here we have the style sheet that we can create the styling. But first thing first, let's add some styling to the other components. And here I will add also a styles dot container. Okay, here I'll add a container, and I'll add also a flex one, background color of white. Okay, perfect. And I can do a padding, horizontal, let's say of 20. So we have some margin on the left and the right. Perfect. Now let's just style also the text here, which is the title, and here the description, let's say, or the subtitle. Let's keep it the same and the other components. And here we can add the title. We can add a font size, a font weight, also margin button, as you see. And let's create a subtitle. Here you can do a font size of 18, and a color of gray. Yeah, CCTV is good. And also margin button of, okay, here we have to add this. Okay, perfect. Okay, this seems a lot bigger. Okay, 16 is good, perfect. Okay, now we have to style the inputs here. Let's add a border, a background, and some padding to each input. So as you see, each text input has the same style. So if I just place a styling on one, it will apply to all of them. So let's add an input here. And now the border width, because I want a border. One. As you see, now I have the input, but I want the border color as well. Okay, perfect. Okay, as you see now it's better. And also let's add some border radius because that's from the corners. And also we can add a margin bottom 15. So we have a margin between those. And also we need some padding because if I write some text, as you see, the border, it's basically in, right before the text. So I don't want that. Let's add some padding horizontal, padding vertical. And as you can see now, the form looks much cleaner and much better. Okay, I have made a screenshot here. No worries. Let's go back to our app. Okay, perfect. Now we have a we need to have a button that makes the saving. So let's add again a button, touchable opacity, yes. Okay, perfect. Here, close the tag, and also let's put the text submit. We have to add some styling here too. Button, and here I will add the style. Style the button text. Perfect. Now let's do some styling. Oh, sorry. Okay, perfect. Here I will add a background color of that green that we have used. Also, we need some padding. Vertical, let's do 15. Okay, and padding horizontal, let's do 30. Okay, perfect. Now I have to center the text also, and I will just call the bottom text here, color of white, because I want to make it more visible. And I will add the text align center to be centered here. And also let's do some font size and font weight. Also here, instead of bold, you can just put some numbers like 600, let's say, or we can put 8. As you see, it's very bold, but I'll keep the 600 here. And for the button here, I will add also border radius because I want the corners to be rounded, and I'll respect the same border radius here to be, so we have nice UI. And basically, yeah, that's it. As you see, here is the form. Also, as you see, the placeholder that we have put here, the name, description, and location isn't visible. So here we can add a prop, which is placeholder text color, yes. And here we can add color, like a gray one, as you can see. And we can apply this to all of the inputs in here. And as you can see, now the placeholder is visible. Perfect. So now that we have created the UI, we just have to create the functionalities. And to do that, we have to just think about that we have to save the place somewhere. And we'll use the local storage of our phone that every phone has. And to use that local storage, we have to install a library, which is called React Native async storage. And here you just have to copy this command and just paste it here. I will just stop with the Ctrl+C. And here I will add the library. I'll hit enter, and the library will be installed. Okay. Okay, perfect. Now I'll run the app again. Start. Hit enter. And if I press R, I can reload the app. And as you can see, it gets me here. Welcome to our app. Get started. Here I have the home, which is empty. And here I have the create. Here I can add the place. Perfect. Okay, so let's start creating our functionalities about the saving. So first thing first, we have to create our database name, let's say. So I will call it storage key and call it places, for example. Now, we have to create a function that saves the place into the local storage. So I will just create a function called save place. And here I have to put async. And why? Async and await, it's a thing that we can use and we should use when we just try to retrieve data or save data, because we have to wait for some instructions to be, for example, to be done. And after that, we'll get a promise that, okay, the saving was finished, and then the function is basically going. So that's why we put async. So it's an asynchronous function. Something is doing asynchronously, and also all the instructions that needs to do some waiting before we just have to save, let's say, on a data. Okay, we just need to put a wait in those variables. Yeah. So here I create a function, and first thing first, I want to get the stored places. Okay. So I will just call variable stored places, and this thing here basically gets the storage. Okay, gets what's in the storage key. So for example, places here, and gets the item. Okay, with the async storage functionality. Okay, and basically I have to wait, okay, for this to happen. So why I've done this is because I want to see the current places is filled with something. So if we want to add a place, let's just check if the place, if any place is in the storage. If not, we'll create an empty array. Okay. So this this thing that appears here, like the question mark and also the two dots, it's an if else situation. Here we have the condition. Here we have what is the, if the condition is true, and here we have if the condition is false. So stored places. So if stored places exist and something is in stored places, then we have to parse. We'll talk about it, why you have to parse, sorry, the stored places. If not, we'll create an empty vector. Okay, perfect. Why you have to parse is that in the storage of your phone and the async storage basically holds and saves only strings. Okay, so if you want to manipulate some JSONs or some objects, we have to parse them to JSON. So that's why the strings that are basically in our storage needs to be parsed into an object. So that's why I use this. Okay, perfect. Now, I want the updated places to be in the vector. So if there are some current places, I want them to be there also, and add the new place also. So here I'll create an object called next place. Okay, and here I want to save the ID of our place, let's say, because it has to have some unique identification. And also what we are going to save here is the object place here, because when we do the submit, here in the place will the name, description, and location will come as an object, and we have to save them. So that's why I've put place here in the function, because I want to just put the places a place, sorry. And also I want to put an ID and creative at, new date, and so on. These two things is just for us to make an identification of the places. And also here is a timestamp when the place was created, or the post was created. Okay, but what these three dots are meaning is basically we add to the existing object, the new object. So that's why we put those three buttons, three dots here. Okay, perfect. Now, here I will create the next places that we want to basically put into an array. So will be the current places that already exist, if there are some current places. And also I want to add the new object that will be saved if I add now a place, which is the next place that we have created. So here we have the current places, okay? And I have to put with 3 dots because maybe there are also many in the array, and we have to add the next place right before it. But I want to put the next place in the first index, let's say, in the array. So I will just switch this to be here because next place I want to be first. Okay, when we'll display the array, for example, in the home page, I want the current or the newest places to be just displayed. So that's why I'm putting the next place first. Okay, perfect. And here we have to set the item to the local storage. So as I did here, I'll just make a wait, and I'll call it again async storage. And I will set the item. And here I have to pass the storage key, okay, which I have created here, storage key, and JSON.stringify, and the next place is because this is the thing that I want to just save in the local storage. But why I have done the JSON.stringify? Because as I said earlier, now we have worked with an object because as we get the item from the storage key, there are strings, and if we want to just put the values and the data again in the local storage, we have to stringify them. The object, we have to just stringify the object, and that's why we put JSON.stringify. Okay, perfect. Now what we have to do is just make this submit button to call basically this function, and here we have to create some states. So because we have 3 inputs, yeah, we have to manage the state of the input. So when the input changes, like we have to put some text here, okay? We need to track it. So we need a hook called useState. So for each input here, name, description, and location, we will create a hook, okay? So this is how we create a hook. Okay, sorry for the const name, set name. Okay, this is the variable that we are tracking basically, and this is the function that will just update the state of the name. Okay, so as I said earlier, we use useState. Okay, react.useState, and here we have an empty string. Okay, we'll see later what this does in an example, but I have to create as well the description, set description, location, and location, set location for each one. Okay. And now I have to make a function, let's call it handle state. Okay. Okay, perfect. And we have to, first thing first, if we want to add some error handling, if, for example, a user doesn't fill all the fields and click submit, I don't want to just put in the local storage some blank space data, okay? And we can just check as well if there are if any input has something in it of value, and also we can trim the strings. So for example, if someone is writing like this, if I know something, the trim function will just trim all the blank spaces, and basically we'll get this, let's say. Okay, so here let's just trim all the the name, description, and the location. Okay, so I'll call it trimmed name trim, and as well for the others. And now I want to check and this function to be completed if all the fields are completed. Okay, so I will add an if statement, and basically I will put the exclamation point here, which is not. So if there isn't a trim name, this is the and operator, and trim description, and no, this is not the end, this is the or, sorry. And the trim location will have an alert with an error. Okay, perfect. Okay, and now we have to just run this safe place function that we have created. So here I will do a try catch method. What is a try catch method? It basically what it says is basically, okay, I'm trying to just make a function to work. If I catch any error, I will tell you. Okay, this is a nice block to just use so you can catch errors more easily. So yeah, here, as I said earlier, everything that we have, we just save in local storage or save everywhere. We have to wait for that to happen. And as I said earlier, we have to make it asynchronous. Okay, so here we have to do an async function. Okay. Okay, perfect. And here we just have to add the safe place function that we have created and add here the object with the name, description, and location. Here, as I said earlier, I have put this in the parameters because here I will just put an object. Okay. Okay, perfect. So here I will put a wait because I have used async here and I have to wait to save the places. Okay. And here I will add the object. So name will be the trim name, description will be the trim description, and the trim location will be the trim location from here. Okay, perfect. And here I will try to catch an error, which is alert, error, failed to save the place. Perfect. Now I have created those functions, but we didn't add it to the bottom. Okay. And also we didn't put the states for it, like the set name, the set description, and the set location to each input. So what we have to do is to go here in the text input and also add the value. Okay, so the value will be the name because this is the book that we have created. And on change, we have to add also the on change text, okay, the prop. So when the text changes, also the set name function, the yes, will just update the name. Yeah, so that's why you have to put the on change text because it changes while you are just writing. Okay, so I have to add all of this to all of the text inputs. Okay, and for example, if I go here and I put, for example, I know park. Okay, as you can see, park is here updated. So basically the use state, the first state of the name variable, yeah, it's park. And also here, as you can see, the value name is updated by the set name when we change the text. Okay, so basically this is happening in the back, but here I have a blank string, so that's when it doesn't appear anything here. But if I start to write something park in the back, it's basically rewriting, and it's always tracking the state of your input fields. Okay, so now that we have put our values and all and also the hooks of the state, we can add also the function here when we press the button, which is on press. And here we can just put the handle save function that we have created. Perfect. Okay, and now let's just see if anything works. So I would just put it here. Park description will be, I don't know, relaxing stuff, and the location, it will be a link here, so I know. Let's put it like this. I know, Google document, let's say, submit. Okay, here we have an error. Let's see why. Okay, property alert doesn't exist because we haven't imported. So yeah, we can just import it. And we can also add an alert of success. Okay, perfect. So as you can see here, I just put the alert here in the import, and hopefully now it works. So again, park, description, relaxing stuff, and yeah, we have a link. Okay, we have an error again. Let's just reload the app. Okay. Okay, we just have the error again, and again we have let's say why we have an error. So we have a sync, we have the store places, we just parse them. Okay, the next places. Okay, maybe the ID is the problem. I think the ID should be something unique. So you can do this, for example, like let's just make the date and just subtract something random out of it to be a unique ID. So I will just okay, but I don't have, okay, perfect. Here it is. And here I will the dollar, and I will do date now minus at random, and here I will do some, I don't know, to string 36 subtract. Now I'll do a slice. You can ignore this, or you can just copy this for your ID because this has to be unique. So maybe that's why. But let's okay, let's look if something is off again. So next place is okay, will be saved. Here we just set the item. Here you have the storage key, which is okay, perfectly places, and we'll just have to be next places. And here we have the hooks. Okay, perfect. I know the hooks works because I have tested them. Here we have an alert. Okay, and here you have to catch. Okay. Also we can just add some for the same name for the others hooks, for the other hooks, we can just make them empty when the function is basically toggled. So when you submit, all the field is basically going to be blank. Okay, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know if we have to add more things. But okay, let's do it. Let's say if we have, okay, we have handle save. Here we have the handle save function. And yeah, okay, let's do it like park. Let's do relax. Let's do location. Okay, I have an error again. Let's do a console log here. Also error, okay. And let's see what is the error actually. Here we have error saving place. Okay, we didn't import the async storage. Okay, that's why. I have to import the async storage. Okay, we forgot to add that. So yeah, as you can see, this is how you do error handling. And yeah, basically it told me that the async storage property doesn't exist. So yeah, we have to import it basically. And now we can, it's for sure it work. Park, relaxing stuff. And here I'll just add a perfect. We have a success. Place was saved successfully. Okay, perfect. So the form works. The places are saved correctly in our local storage. So we have just to display them here in the home. So here in home, let's do it the same. Let's do the same and basically create some layouts. And yeah, okay. Here we'll have a view. I'll make it a scroll view as well. Sorry, scroll view. And here I'll add the style container. Also I have to rename this to scroll view. Okay, here I can add a container, and as well we can add a flex font. You already know this. A background color of white, as you can see, and a padding horizontal of 20 pixels. So the text will not say in the margins. Okay, perfect. Now let's do two text here as well. And I will just copy and paste one here. Here I'll rename it subtitle. And welcome to our app. I will just, put in places. And also here I'll put something like, here are the safe places. Okay, perfect. And we'll add the same. We can just go to copy paste them from here. The title and the subtitle, okay, and we can just copy paste them here. And as you can see, we have the same styling here and here, so we have a smooth app, let's say, or the UI is very smooth in this way, and it's the same everywhere. I strongly recommend you to do that. Okay, perfect. And now here, I will add also a view. I will just wrap all those texts in a view, because I want to add a margin button, yeah. Because I want here, I want in the middle to display all the lists of the places that we have saved. So I want some margin because it will be right under this text where it says here are the saved places, and I don't want that. So I will add some styling of margin bottom of 20. As you can see, you have to add another object here instead of those curly parentheses. If you want to do the inner styling, if you want to have the styling in this style sheet, okay, we have to add just one thing and just call the styles object. So the container, the title and subtitle will just apply here. Okay, perfect. Now we have to just make the functionalities to get the places from the storage and also to just display them. Okay, so first thing first, also here we'll make a const get places function as well. It should be asynchronous, and here let's start to write the instructions. Okay, so first thing first, we get the item. First thing first, okay, we have to just declare the storage key. It's very important. So we are just referring to this basically database. We can say like that for the key for the storage. Okay, and here I can go to the create and just copy the same line here of the stored places, basically to get, okay, not here, here. Okay, and we have to use the wait because I have used the sync also, and basically this is how I get the item of the storage key. Okay, perfect. And here are the stored places. So let's add some error handling. If there aren't any stored places, okay, it will return an empty vector. Okay, perfect. So if there aren't, we just show. Okay, perfect. Now let's do again a try catch method. Okay, I already said what it is, a try catch method. And here we have to parse the places as well, as I said earlier. In the storage of your phone, there are strings, and we have to just operate with objects. Okay, so I will just I will make a variable. I'll make a variable called parse places, and here I will just put JSON parse and store places. Perfect. And here I want to return an array because I want to display a list. Okay, so I return an array, and I can put the thing with isArray to just make the error handling better, for example, and to just check again if there is an array. If not, it will give me an error. Okay, here I will put the parse places, and yeah, if it is an array, then I'll put the parse places. If not, I will make an empty vector. Okay, and here I have an error here, a console log error. Okay, perfect. And here I want to return also an empty vector if there is an error. Okay, return. Yeah, that's what was the error. Okay, perfect. Basically, this is all the function that we have to just put when we get places. And here as well, we have to use some hooks to basically manage the data. So we add the const places, set places. And here we use the use state again, but here I'll put a vector as well. So here I have put a string because I want to operate with strings. Okay, where? Sorry, here. Okay, as I told you, here I put, for example, the something, and as you saw earlier, the value changed, and here it was a string, but here we want to operate with an array. Okay, perfect. So that is all of the hooks, yeah, that we need. We don't need any. And we have to use another hook, which is called useEffect. The hook useEffect is used when we want to when the component re-renders to just execute some functionalities. Okay, so when the component mounts, for example, like when we get into the app, I want these functions to be, or the instructions to be toggled. Okay, so for example, if I close the app, but in the local storage are saved some places, when the app mounts and basically the component home mounts, okay, I want to just see the new places. That's why I will just use the useEffect hook. Okay, here I will use react dot useEffect hook. Okay, and this is basically a function, but here it just here wants a function. Okay, okay, perfect. And here I will just name a variable like load places. Okay, again, I need an asynchronous function. Okay, because I have to wait for those to happen. Okay, and here I will just put I will just call the get places function that we have created. Okay, and as well we'll do await. Let's store it in a variable, const stored places, and we do the await get places. Okay, perfect. And after this, we just need to call the function on mount. Okay, so we just need to call the function load places. Okay, perfect. Here I'll put a dependency array, and I'll talk about later why it's important. But yeah, basically that's pretty much it. Okay. Okay, and also I have to add the set places. Okay, set places, store places. Okay, perfect. Okay, because I have to just um let's say I have to basically update the places with the set places function, and here is the hook. Okay, perfectly to add here the store places. Okay, perfect. Now let's render all the components. Here have an error. I don't know why, but we'll see it. Okay, again, we didn't put async storage. Let's import it. Maybe we don't have an error. Let's roll the app. Okay, get started and home. I don't have any errors. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's go further. And here I want to display the places with a flat list. The flat list is a component that you can use to display cards, let's say, and many and data basically in a list. So the flat list comes in hand, and we can use this. It's a self-closing tag, so you have to just self-close it. And here we'll start. Also, you have to import it. Okay, don't forget us. Okay, you have to import it. Okay, perfectly. And the flat list now it's waiting for some props. Okay, the flat list needs some data. Okay, the data will be the places. Okay, here that are saved. Okay, in this hook. Okay, and here I need to add the data, and also I want to add a key extractor because every list or every element has to have a unique ID. And that ID that I have put in the create when it saves the place, okay, it's a unique ID. So that's why this key extractor comes in hand, and also the ID that we have created, okay? So we have to add the key extractor. And here I will, it will be a function, okay, that takes the, let's say, item, okay? But this should be an object, okay? Because we are working with objects, okay? And the items are all objects, okay? And now we have to just put this arrow function here and put the item ID. Okay. Now we want to render each. Now we want to render each list, each card, for example, each element from our list. So we'll just go with render item. So we have to render an item or a view, let's say a block. And here we just have to pass again the item. Okay. And now we have a function that will just have the component. Okay, so if I add a view here and I do some text, I'll just copy paste them here and I will add them with curly braces, item name, item description. Okay, I have an error here. Item ID is not defined. Let's see what is the error. Let's reload the app. Okay, so flat list cannot read property ID undefined. Okay, here we are here. Okay, we need the item. Oh, we don't have to put in an object. Sorry, my bad. The object should be here. Okay. As you can see, all the data that was saved is basically rendering right now with the flat list because of the data. So this is the data, the places, and the key extractor is an item. This is how you can call it like, I don't know, place, for example, and here we have to rename place. This is the basically a variable here, or you can just make this. Okay, and again, reload our app. Name is undefined. Okay, I don't know why it's this error, for example, but let's go back. Let's just not over engineering this. Okay, and now we can do some styling for the things that we have put here. Here we have the location, not the address. Okay, perfect. Now it's render the location. And yeah, let's do some styling. For example, here I can style with, and let's make it style dot card. Okay, here I go, and then card, and here the background color, as you can see, and I can add some margin, some padding. As you can see, now I have made some cards. Perfect. So now we can just add some styling to the text as well. Style, and I'll name card name. I'll just copy this and paste it here as well. And here I'll name, sorry, card description and card location. Okay, now here I can put the card name. There's a font size, a font weight here, park, okay. A card description, which is with a smaller text. Okay, here I have to close the parentheses. Okay, and with a gray thing, and we can put the card location. Let's do it with the font style. Let's do it italic, for example, to be in an italic way. And let's add the color of the one that we have used, for example, in the create here, the green one. Okay, so I'll put it here. So, okay. Okay, perfect. And yeah, let's do some font size of 14. Perfect. And yeah, basically that's pretty much it. Now we can just load our app and do the full flow. We press get started, and we go to create, and here we can just put for example, just put teach me view. The description will be relaxing park. Okay, sorry, relaxing park. And here we can add a location. And will be, or you can just, I don't know, search on maps, the location. For example, let's go to Gimnaziu, okay, Bucharest. And yeah, I can just take this thing. I can just copy the link, and let's go back in my app, add this location, you click submit, place was saved successfully. And here, why it's not showing is because the component isn't rendering again, so the use effect basically doesn't work. But how we can make it work is this dependency array. So we can tell this component to re-render not on mount, and also when the places is basically updated. So when we put another element in the list, which was the Gimnaziu, let's say, and so on, we can add it here. Okay, so we can add places here, and basically, as you can see, the Gimnaziu, relaxing park, and the maps also appeared here. Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay, but now I have to do one more thing, and to open this URL, because here now it doesn't work. As you can see, I want to press it and it doesn't work. So here on the text, we can add a touchable opacity. So it seems like you can press it, okay? Okay. Here I will take the text and wrap it in the touchable opacity. And it will give me an error because I haven't imported. Perfect, I have imported now. It doesn't, it don't have an error. And here we have to add a function that will open the link. So on press adjustable opacity, okay, the component. Okay, like this. We have a function, and here we have to use the linking property and open URL. And here we put the item dot, okay, because we want to open this location. Perfect. Okay, if we press now this, as you can see, it will open the link and we'll go to the action link that we have put there. Go back to the web. Perfect. As you can see, this is the link that we have put earlier. Yeah. Let's go back into our app. And basically, we have to solve one more thing. It says visual like this should never be nested inside the plain scroll view. Okay. And what we can do is basically is to delete the scroll view and not also the view. Here, if we reload the app, we don't have any errors. Here I have all the places. I can add a new place here, which is let's say I don't know, a lake, let's say, something and something. I click submit, and also I can see the live component that re-renders here, and I can see all the components and also the data that is saved in my local storage. And yeah, that's basically pretty much it, and the app that we have built today. And now I can just maybe answer to your questions. If you have questions, you can ask me on the support group. And yeah, hopefully you like this tutorial, this webinar. If you, again, you have questions, you can ask me on the WhatsApp group. Also, you can contact me via the website that I put in the first slide. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you guys in the final.